Hi, I'm your L7 movie guy, PR Marks. This is the recommendation show for all your streaming services and reviews. Let's get started. First up we have is a horror slasher called In a Violent Nature. Basically, this is about a man that's accidentally resurrected from the grave when a locket is stolen from his gravesite, and then goes on a killing spree in order to get his locket back.
Oh, come on, give it back. I need it.
Now, the horror makeup and the death scenes in this are something out of a Friday the 13th type film, which you can definitely tell was a source of inspiration for this film, because even though this is an indie type slasher horror film, they still couldn't help themselves from delivering us some of humorous death scenes that sometimes these films come with.
Yeah, invite only corn poke and you weren't invited. Son of a bitch.
The simplicity of the story as well as the production definitely gave it its charm as well as uniqueness. Whether it was, the camera work following our killer from the back the majority of the movie, or the fact that there was actually no musical score throughout the whole film, which added a whole new layer of fear because you heard every footstep that our killer took and how heavy it was, as well as every cricket that was creaking and every, bird that was chirping. And I think nature was basically the score for this.
You guys are the worst. Your gods are alive. You, nature, and trees.
Overall, this was entertaining, and it did give a whole new approach to the slasher genre. Now, I think the story was pretty straightforward, but the ending was too nicely wrapped up in a bow, which kind of ruined it for me, and that's why I'm giving it an A. But for our audience thumb scale, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Second up we have is an Australian horror film called Bring Her Back. What we have here is a story about two half-siblings that find themselves to be orphaned after a death in the family, and soon after are placed in the arms of a foster mother, which she has a sneaky, sinister, cult-like motives up her sleeve.
Sneaky bitch.
The acting in this one was pretty good all across the board. Everybody played their character pretty well. Of course, though, there are some standouts. One actually being, of course, the Piper character, which is the sister. She was amazing in this and is actually blind, so I would give her, all the praise because she killed it. And the second one being the actress that played the foster mother. She just played her character so well and was so convincing with desperation, manipulation, and wickedness.
That was totally wicked!
Now, the story as a whole was pretty easy to read into as well as figure out what was going on, but they did leave out a crucial part of the plot of the story that could explain some backstory as well as certain items that was in possession of a character. But besides that though, this film did come with surprising couple of moments that were terrifying and gruesome, which of course had me cringing and turning in my seat. So you know that the horror makeup as well as the practical effects in this were effective enough to make me feel that way. Unfortunately though, it was too long in between for those moments to happen or pop up.
Why? What is taking so long?
In the end, this was a letdown. I feel like there was just too many scenarios that one simple action could have ended the whole film from continuing. And the ending with the revelation scene from one of our main characters just really had me kind of boggled, like, okay, it's a little too late for that. So that really pissed me off. So from all that, I'm giving this one an A. But for our audience thumb scale, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. Last up we have is a 90s rehash of a classic horror film called I Know What You Did Last Summer. So if you don't know or if you do know anything about the franchise, it's pretty much the same thing. Basically, this is about a group of young adults that accidentally cause a death while they're intoxicated. Then after covering it up and a year passes, someone out there knows their secret. And then this someone dresses up in a fisherman's slicker and goes out to terrify the group and kill them one by one.
Where did everybody go?
Now, let me tell you right off the bat, this was a trip down memory lane for me. I remember seeing these type of films when I was a lot younger in my teenage years. So it was really cool to see a movie like this again because they brought back this type of mystery slasher genre like only movies like Scream or Urban Legend and many others did back in the 90s that I think were a lot more funner than the movies we get today. Of course, though, they're doing this thing now when they're bringing back a franchise or a film like this, that they bring back also the cheesy dialogue or the cheesy one-liners that they would say in the previous movies that we all make fun of today.
He's just out there watching us and waiting for us. What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
What am I waiting for? What am I waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
You!
Speaking of bringing things back, it's also very common for them to bring back certain actors that played certain characters in these type of franchises. Now, it was really awesome to see Jennifer Love Hewitt once again reprise her role as this character. Yeah, she's still looking good, and she will always remain my first teenage celebrity crush.
Oh, she definitely get it. Right in the bum hole.
The production as a whole for this film was pretty typical, nothing spectacular, but I did notice that the color grading as well as the lighting for this film was a lot more slicker and brighter than the previous films. The previous films had more of like a darker tone, I feel like. Also too, the cinematographer as well as the prop department really did a good job working with each other. I feel like they, captured every single moment really well with the hook. And, how like really put it in big display to show that this is the weapon for the franchise. Like usually in other movies or franchises, they always have their weapon that identifies with the movie, whether it be a chainsaw, a machete, a knife, or even a gun.
This is an actual revolver.
I see. Yeah. Franco, that's very uncomfortable. Could you put that down, please?
Loaded.
Love it. Awesome. Love it. Can you just put
I
the
always
gun
keep
away?
my props.
That's really cool.
Always keep my props. I know how to handle it.
He knows what he's doing. I like this bit. I like it. I get it. Let me see.
It's real. It's heavy.
Let me see. I got.
Come on, guys. You could kill.
Careful.
Bang,
No.
bang.
Please put it down.
Bang, bang, bang. You're dead.
With that being said, this wasn't too bad in the beginning, as well as the second act wasn't too bad either. The third act, though, was atrocious. The ending, the big reveal, made no sense and was just a big slap in the face. So I'm going to have to give this one a nay. And for our audience thumb scale, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. Well, that's all the time we have. As always, hit that like and subscribe button. And if you like any of the movies we discussed, please leave a comment down below. Have a good weekend, and may the movies be with you. Lates.